Ryan Anderson here, the driver of Son of a Digger, and you're watching Rod Rod's Championship League.
What's going on, everybody? Project Rod here, and welcome to the first stop of Tour Blue. We are racing today. After qualifying, Black Pearl and Steel Titan was your fastest qualifier with a 19.636, and he is currently leading the tour. Again, it's the first stop. It's going to be a little, everything's going to match at this point, but as we progress, it's going to change a bit. So again, this is the leaderboards after qualifying. Black Pearl on top, Megalodon right behind him, and Dalmatian right behind him. So those are your top three as of now. But now it's time for racing. These are the rules for racing. Again, no turbo is to be used during racing. That says qualifying, but it should say racing. Using turbo will result in a disqualification. And again, stay within the smoke gate, stay within the lines of the ramps and finish line, unless you want a 3-second penalty. This is the W Racing bracket. Again, be sure to use code Project Rod to receive 10% off of your W Energy order. Be better with W Energy. Black Pearl with a bye run all the way to the semifinal round for being the fastest qualifier. That is the benefit of being the fastest qualifier here in this specific tour. So let's go ahead and get started with round one of racing here in Death Valley. For the first stop of Tour Blue, we have Drift Boy 912 versus Angel Garcia. So El Toro Loco versus Brutus. And both with a great jump right there. I'm not sure. One of them may have gotten a penalty. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looked like they were both borderline on this smoke gate. Brutus, though, getting to the turn first, but he's hitting the bicycle ramp, but it doesn't look like it's going to affect him one bit. He's going to get to the finish first, but he may have faced the penalty. I don't know. This was a crazy first round race. Again, this is the replay right at the start, and it looks like they're both on top of the smoke gate, which is fine. We will allow that. But the big question right now is going to be the smoke gate at the end. Right here is kind of borderline for both of them as well. But I don't think that's really the issue. The issue is on the finish line right here with Brutus. It looks like that left front tire is outside of the smoke gate. And from this other angle here, you can see that he is outside of the smoke gate. So unfortunately, Brutus will get a 3-second penalty, and El Toro Loco will be the winner. Moving on to round two, here's TAS 2009 in Higher Education now versus Firefly in Gravedigger the Legend. We had a crazy first round race. Let's see if this second one will follow suit, or if we'll have a pretty even race. So far, so good, though. Looks like Higher Education is going to get to the turn first. Executing that turn and executing the second turn, and he's going to get to the finish line first. And as long as there's no penalties, and there isn't, he is going to take the win with a 20.787. Here comes Little Drift 912 and Monster Jam Dalmatian versus Cecily 96 and Lucas Stabilizer. So far, some great races, and we have two more to go here in round one. Let's see who's going to take this one. So far, so good. No penalties, I don't think. And both pretty even. It's kind of hard to tell who has the advantage here. Looks like Stabilizer, though, may get to the turn first, and she will, taking the win over Monster Mutt. So Lucas Stabilizer will be moving on. Wait, no, maybe I'm getting some words from the officials now. Close calls here, but no. Lucas Stabilizer will be getting the win, as the replay showed that she stayed within, and our first round is complete. Excuse me, there was one more race. There was only 3 races in round one. So this is your racing bracket as we move on to round two in W Racing here in Death Valley. So Son of a Digger and El Toro Loco will be our first race of round two. So let's go ahead and get this started with Drift Boy 912 and El Toro Loco versus Worst COD player in Son of a Digger. Son of a Digger, one of the faster qualifiers of this event. That's why he got a bye run into round two. But El Toro Loco looks like he's kind of a little all over the place. Son of a Digger may have an advantage here, but no, I don't know. They're pretty even. Son of a Digger getting close to that bicycle ramp, and it's going to be a close finish, but Son of a Digger is going to get there first as long as there's no penalties. No, there isn't. I'm getting word now that he is good to go. Wait, possibly, I don't know. There's so much. There we go. Okay, there's the official call. El Toro Loco did get a penalty, but it doesn't matter. Son of a Digger is your winner. Moving on to race Steel Titan in round three, the semifinals. Here comes Pilar 89 in Megalodon versus Taz 2009 in Higher Education. Let's see who's going to get this next race. Megalodon was a pretty fast qualifier, and he's showing it as he's taking a good lead over Higher Education. Getting to the turns first, Higher Education stopping a little too hard on that last ramp, and Megalodon, Higher Education stayed on him, but Megalodon taking the win with a 20 1.355. Here we go, the last race, I believe, of round 2, but no, I think there's one more race. Lucas Stabilizer and Cecily 96 and April Summers and Monster Jam Showdown. Let's see who's gonna take this. We have 3 women in this tour. Lucas Stabilizer and Cecily 96 already took out Little Drift 912 and Monster Mutt. Let's see if she can take out April Summers and Monster Mutt Dalmatian. She's gonna knock out the Mutts, possibly as she gets to the finish line first, taking the win over April Summers. So she's knocking all the Mutts out, and we're gonna take a look at a replay here to see, I guess more so for Dalmatian right there. It's kind of close. The camera angle isn't the best. But she didn't get a penalty, but regardless, she still she didn't get the win. Lucas Stabilizer got the win right there. Another close call for the Dalmatian and April Summers. So this is the racing bracket. After all this, I was right, that was the last race. But now we are in the semifinal round for W Racing. It's going to be Black Pearl versus Son of a Digger and Megalodon versus Lucas Stabilizer. Let's go ahead and get started with these semifinals here in Death Valley. So we have Steel Titan in Black Pearl versus Worst COD Player in Son of a Digger. Let's see if Steel Titan still has that speed that he had during qualifying. He had some crazy fast times that no one really got close to. And right there, it already looks like he has a slight lead over Son of a Digger. He may be moving on to the championship round as he's flying through these turns. Son of a Digger right there hitting the bicycle ramp, and it's right there. Black Pearl and Steel Titan taking the win, another sub 20 times. So let's see who's going to be his competitor in the final round. It's Cecily 96 and Lucas Stabilizer versus Pilar 89 in Megalodon. Who is going to be facing the Black Pearl in the championship round? Both of these trucks, really Megalodon though, having a great time in qualifying. Stabilizer struggling a little bit, but she's come here to race. And it looks like she wants to take it away, but Megalodon is hanging on. Here we go. It's going to come down to the final turn, and it's going to be the Lucas Stabilizer and Cecily 96, as long as she doesn't get a penalty right here. No, she did it. So she will be moving on in a super close race for this last race of the semifinal round. And there you go. We have a almost finished bracket now. It's going to be Black Pearl, the fastest qualifier, versus Lucas Stabilizer, who was what, 8th fastest overall. So we have our W Racing final here in Death Valley. It's time for the final round. It's going to be Steel Titan in Black Pearl versus Cecily 96 in Lucas Stabilizer. Here we go. Make your predictions down below. Who's going to be the winner as they both take off a good takeoff for each one of them. But Black Pearl, oh no, Lucas Stabilizer's some trouble already. Clipping the bicycle ramp. Steel Titan may have this race in the bag. After taking qualifying, he may take racing as well. Lucas Stabilizer a little bit all over the place, and she may have even gotten a penalty, but yes, she did. But it's no secret, Black Pearl and Steel Titan with an even faster time is your racing winner here in Death Valley. So going 2 for 2 so far, getting fastest qualifier and getting racing. He is on top of the leaderboards. This is the leaderboards for racing. As you can see, Black Pearl on top, Lucas Stabilizer in second, and Megalodon in third. Your top 3 in racing here in Death Valley as we go ahead and look at the overall leaderboards for the tour. And right there, Black Pearl with 20 points on the season already, going back to back. So things are looking good for Steel Titan right now, showing early that he's here to win. 2 more competitions left in Death Valley. He's already leading the overall event championship, but again, 2 more competitions left. The next one is going to be Best Trick, which is a spin on your regular skills competition. So be sure to check it out. If you like what you see, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more Monster Jam Showdown content. I'm Project Rod, and I'll see you in the next one.